So hi, my name is Cujo. Today I just wanted to make a little video and talk about flow compared to happiness. I've been reading a book called Flow by this guy. I'm going to put his name on screen. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. But I'm going to kind of just start out by giving a basic overview of what flow is. Also, I'll put a chart on screen too while I talk about it. Essentially, flow is a state achieved where the challenge matches the skill. In fact, optimal flow is the challenge is just a little bit above the skill. So depending on how much skill you have in a particular thing that you're doing, there needs to be an equal, if not slightly more amount of challenge in order to obtain flow. If the challenge is too hard and you don't have enough skill, you become anxious. And if you have too much skill and there's not enough challenge, the activity becomes boring. I experience a lot of flow when I play Super Smash Bros. Melee. I think just because everybody who plays that game is just really good at that game. But to do the technical skills and the amount that the game has developed, it actually takes a lot of presence and a lot of inputs and focus. But anyway, when you grow better at something in particular, as the skill grows, the challenge needs to grow with it and kind of be equal. When you're experiencing flow, the entirety of your being is focused on a wanted outcome that you have. So I'm just going to use Melee as an example. That's also the gameplay that I'm going to be showing, is just some games that I played at Melee. And of course, it's the games that I win. I'm not going to show you the games that I lose. Get wrecked, nerd. I don't know. The way that I know that I'm improving in Melee is when I'm experiencing flow. AKA, I find someone who challenges me enough to where I'm fully focused in the game, but it's just barely doable to where I can either beat the opponent barely or the opponent can beat me. How I would describe flow for me is my mind is kind of blank but focused on the task, and my body kind of just naturally does the stuff without having to think about it. But I'm fully focused and fully in the present trying to get a wanted outcome. Something that the book talks about is flow is actually one of the more quote-unquote optimal ways to experience enjoyment, where upon reflection after an activity, you have a great sense of enjoyment that you enjoyed the activity that you were doing. But while you're also in flow, you're not thinking of anything outside of your activity, so your brain process isn't focused on like negative things or positive things either. It's just focused on the task, which leads me to kind of talk about the happiness as a concept for a little bit. For like hundreds of years, I think our culture has focused on how can I optimize a happy life for myself. But even if you focus on that question, the focus on that question actually shows you that there's lack already, that you're not happy. I personally think it's pretty healthy to ask, what can I do to make my process better? But recognize that you're in a good spot in the present moment. And be content and happy, if I die tomorrow or if I die eventually in the future, I'm completely okay with where I'm at. And if you're not okay with where you're at, that's totally fine. You just need to accept that and then do the actions that you need to take in order to improve the quality of your life. But you can accept that and choose to be happy in the present moment. I feel like this is kind of something I can't convey other than you experiencing it. But your thought loop that you have in your head ends up creating the life that you experience. So if you're constantly thinking about how grateful you are for your own life, you'll be grateful. And if you go down thought trees of my life sucks, I'm lacking this, then you end up feeling miserable once you listen to those thoughts. You can choose what thoughts to listen to. But anyway, happiness is an emotion that comes as a byproduct of doing things that you enjoy. So if you have a life full of things that you enjoy, then naturally every once in a while you'll get a strong emotion of joy or happiness while you're experiencing those things you enjoy. So instead of focusing on trying to create happiness in your life, you should try to do things that give you a sense of flow almost all throughout the entirety of your day. If you can be around people who you have good conversations with, do hobbies that really engage you, do work that really engages you, your whole day is set up for a flow. And as you get better, you'll get more and more challenges. Your life will grow and grow, and you'll just experience more and more joy as a byproduct. But the joy and happiness is not something you should chase. When I see myself growing in any aspect, whether it's making videos or music or competing in a fighting game or lifting weights or just any of the hobbies that I have, is I can see myself improving and refining my own process. But honestly, for most of it, I'm just kind of chilling, to put it simply. There will be times where I get like an explosive amount of joy, like if I'm editing a video and I make myself laugh, or if I put something I find funny in a song or a really good chord change. I experience a lot of joy when that happens. But for the most part, I'm just chilling and just kind of enjoying myself in a low energy type of way. I think your mind just needs to figure out problems. Like that's what your mind is designed to do. And if you don't give it a consistent amount of problems or self-introspection, then over time the thought loop will just be uncontrolled and all over the place. So you should get this book. I'm going to show it on screen again because I cannot say the guy's name to save my life. Seek hobbies you love, seek work you love, listen to your internal guidance system, and if there's stuff that you don't like, try to limit it in your life. And if there's stuff you really do like, try to maximize your time you can spend with it, fully focused on it, because then you'll create flow, and as a byproduct it'll create happiness for you, and not pursuing happiness, because it's not something that is grabbable. It's not something you can chase happiness. Also, if people want to hear me talk about particular subjects, you can leave them in the comments if you would like. I'm working on a main video right now. There was a second video I had that I scrapped that was going to involve melee, but I don't think it's time to make that quite yet, and I'm going to fully focus my energy into one project right now. But anyway, thank you to everybody who supports me. It really means a lot to me. Like, even if it's just leaving comments on my stuff, or even just liking the videos or just watching them, like, thank you so much. There's been a couple of times where people have messaged me and said that my videos have helped them improve their life in substantial ways, and I can't even begin to describe how that makes me feel, which is one of the main reasons it pushes me to do the commentary stuff and everything in between. But anyway, I love you. Feel free to reach out to me however you want if you would like to talk about something. I'm gonna go keep working on some more projects now. So thank you for watching, and goodbye now.